us. We have an hour to cover the work that Family Housing Resources does. We're super excited to have you as interns and volunteers and Service Corps members join us to help us expand our capacity and so that we can learn from you as well here at Family Housing Resources. I'm going to start by turning it over to our executive director, Megan Headings, and she's going to cover like a little overview, what she wants to cover with FHR and our history and development.
Thanks, Christy. Thank you.
Do we want to do introductions?
I was just going to say, can we first have everyone, all the interns sort of announce themselves and who they're working with would be awesome for me. I love that.
So I'm going to call you out so that it's easier. Janae, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Janae, and I'm an intern at the U of A.
And what are you working on this semester with us?
Oh, yes. I'm a grant researcher outreach.
Awesome. Thank you. Mika?
Hi, everyone. I'm Mika. I'm an AmeriCorps Vista member doing homeownership counseling.
Yeah. Awesome. Landon?
Hey guys, I'm Landon. I go to U of A also, and I'm working on housing counseling.
Emily?
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a volunteer, and so far I've been working with Brian on admin stuff.
Yay. You say it in such a way that we're actually thrilled about that.
Was that Brian Perez or Jackson?
Yes. Perez.
Perez.
Yeah. Emma?
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm at the Botanic Gardens in Colorado and my camera is not great, but I'm working on administrative stuff. There it is. Fixed it. I'm working on administrative stuff with Kristen, and I'm also going to be working on a couple of writing projects.
And that's everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really excited to have everyone here. It's a big group this semester, so that's exciting. Thank you all so much for your time and energy working with us. We really do appreciate it, and it helps to completely transform and expand what we're able to do. So thank you for the dedication you'll be putting in with us. So I'm Megan Headings. I'm the executive director, and I'm going to share a little bit about FHR, but really I'm going to leave it to all of the great staff members to dive more into the programs and share that with you. But our organization has been around since 1991, so we have been well established. We were originally created actually as a support organization for the Pima Industrial Development Authority, which is the Pima IDA. And I will tell you, before coming to FHR, I have never heard of an IDA before, like I would assume most of you. But typically, IDAs are quasi-governmental entities that are put in place to help economic development and largely work around bond initiatives. And so FHR started with providing mortgage credit certificates and then sort of expanded down that path, and our role working with individuals and families, both on sort of home ownership aspects as well as long-term wealth creation. And that's really where we've sort of navigated to focus our work today. So our vision is a community with equal access to quality, affordable housing and pathways to increase wealth and financial freedom, which is a bit of a mouthful and lofty goal, but really where we focus our energy. Our primary mission, however, is to create lasting solutions to help individuals and families reach that financial freedom through housing support, education, and partnership. And so you'll hear a little bit more about those aspects of our work as all of our staff talk. There's really two primary areas of our work that we do this through, and that is providing sort of housing stability now, and really honestly just providing housing, which is through our residential team. We are an owner manager and developer of affordable apartment communities and working really hard to get back into that space and do more of it. FHR in the past had a larger portfolio. It sort of shrunk down over years, and we're trying to build that back up, both here in Tucson, and then Benson and Kimberly and Krista will speak a little bit more about that and some of the initiatives on development happening now. And then the second pillar is a little bit more focused on some of the stability, financial education, and then a long-term path for home ownership. And so a lot of you are actually going to be working in some of those programs and talking about it, but you'll hear a little bit about some of the work that we do today to help stabilize individuals, provide resources, because we know a lot of individuals are struggling right now. Rental prices, home prices have all skyrocketed over the last few years. And so it's making it really challenging for people both in rentals to stay put, as well as long-term towards that, desire on sort of the American dream and that long-term path for wealth creation, which we view largely connected to homeownership. So I am gonna pause because we have so many folks to speak today, and let everyone else speak. And I had it in front of me, but now it's buried. But I believe our residential team is going to speak next, which is Kimberly and Krista. So if you want to take it over.
Sure. So I'm Krista Curtis, and recently I was the director of property management, but we had a change here about 2 months ago. I'm now the director of accounting and compliance. I still oversee residential, but from a distance, and we've promoted Kimberly to the regional property manager. So she's just stepped into that role as well. And we're going to share with you a little overview of our department and what we do. Let me see if I can get this to work. So Kimberly.
Do you want me to share the
Oh, I got it. I'm already, can nobody see this? Am I sharing it? It looks like I am.
It looks like you're not.
Okay. To me, it looked like I was sharing. I apologize. Let me try again. Let's do this again. Now can everyone see it?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. There we go.
So I'm Kimberly. I'm the regional property manager here for FHR. And we have a couple of properties in Midtown, which we keep very affordable for people. They're not tax credit properties or under any program, but we do keep the rents very inexpensive there so that people have an option to live someplace in town for under $1,500 a month. It's a lot less than that actually, but yeah, and that there's a 8-plex over on Blackledge and Dodge area. Flower is a 24-unit complex with a pool and a lot of pretty cute landscaping, as you can see there in the pictures. It's a nice little property. It's a little older, but it is a quaint little area. And then we have Catalina Apartments. That one's a fourplex over on Speedway and Craycroft area, or Speedway in Columbus. And those ones are 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms. Right now we don't have any availability at any of those because I feel like because the rents are so affordable, people just jump on them. We are doing a kind of a rehab of one of those units, so that one will be available pretty soon. Silverwood Casitas is where I've been for the last 10 years for FHR, and that one is our senior for those who are 62 and over and low income. They have to be under the 50% AMI to qualify to live there. And our wait list is currently closed. We're not even taking applications because the waiting period is more than 5 years. But it's a great little property. We have a nice facilities for people to, where we have potlucks and, you know, bingo games and card games. We just hired a manager over there to take over my position, and I let her know that she needs to get a potluck scheduled for those people before they rebel. And she's on it. I think it's going to be on Friday. Nachos. So then we have San Pedro, which is a low-income housing tax credit property. And that one is down in Benson. And they have some great 1 bedrooms, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and 3 bedroom, 2 bath. They do have some income restrictions. Most of them are 80% area median income. And that we do have availability down there if y'all know of anybody that needs to move in.
Need something affordable in Benson.
Yeah, it's not a bad drive. I drive down there all the time. So
They're very
anybody's
large
interested.
units too.
Yeah, they are. They're super cute. The 1 bedrooms are awesome. And then the 3 bedrooms, all of them are. The 2 bedrooms have a nice split floor plan, so they're all good. We just got finished. I don't know how to explain Talavera. We're not
It's
managing
recently
it.
renovated. Yeah.
It is recently renovated, and they are 50 and 60% units, with the city of Tucson offering 30% units. Is that accurate?
Yeah,
Is that how to
there's
explain it?
25 project-based units there too. So they have some layered programming there. It's 100% tax credit, but they also have 11 units that have some city home funds, which means there's a layer of affordability restrictions added to those units. And then there's 25 that are Section 8 project-based voucher units. They're fixed units, they're not floating. And out of those 25, yes, 19 of them are held for 30%, and the remainder are for 50. So got a lot of different affordable programs going on over there. But she's right. We own it. We don't manage it yet. And I said, yet. We might soon. But it's a beautiful property.
It is. Can I jump in real quick? A lot of people, I don't think, know about tax credits or any of that. And I just wanted to clarify. So low-income housing tax credits, or what you'll see to refer to as LIHTC, honestly, is one of the most, it's the primary way that affordable apartments are built in the US today. It's one of the only mass government funding options available. It still is very hard with the current cost of construction to produce. But as Kimberly and Krista were sharing, a lot of these have been different, either will have both restrictions based on the tenant. They can't exceed a certain income to be able to live there. They have to qualify. And then also they then get a reduced rent that maxes at whatever that income level typically is, just so that you have a little bit of a better understanding, as there's a couple dynamics that help to make it affordable in the community. And a lot of times, as Krista said, we see a lot of people today struggling who really are even closer to that 30%, which is really challenging because a lot of rents are above that.
Yeah, it's very challenging for people to find housing right now. Even if they could find a unit at one of these LIHTC locations, the rents are incredibly high still for a lot of people. So it's tough right now, for sure. Let me switch the slide for you, Kimberly. There you
go. So some of our resident programs, we try to keep food pantries at all of our properties so that people can come pick up food if they are in need. And we get donations from the community. I think Jim Click has helped us before collect items. There's a couple of other organizations that help us. Over at Silverwood, this is what I was talking about the potlucks. We have to feed these people sometime. They really enjoy it. We go out there and do the holiday dinners.
Mhm.
Like Thanksgiving, we provide a full turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, you name it, we got it. And you know, they really enjoy it because some of those people don't really have a option for home cooked meals.
Yeah, they live on Social
And
Security.
we provide those, especially during the holidays. They're very happy about that. That's one of the main questions that I've been getting these last couple of weeks is who's going to do our Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I had to assure them that I would be back to do those. But at Silver, we have at all of our properties, we have pest control, free pest control. You know, a monthly newsletter to keep the people informed. And we do offer one time per year if people are running into trouble getting their rent paid. We can waive their late fees once per year. We also offer payment plans if they are behind and they need to catch up on their rent. We can offer them a payment plan to get, you know, to get caught up so that we're not evicting them. We're
Mhm.
giving them an opportunity to get current with their rent charges. So during this initial period of me transforming into this new role, I'm hoping to get some activities going at the other properties
Mhm.
to because recently they haven't had a whole they haven't had a whole lot of
Engagement, yeah,
yeah,
they have.
resident
It's
activities or anything.
and it's harder at those locations. They don't have nearly the community space that Silverwood Casitas does, so it makes it a little bit more challenging to do some of those larger activities, which is great that Kimberly can now devote some time to helping those managers get creative. So we appreciate that. I think I was speaking to, our future and development. Right now, we're in the process of developing 4 duplexes. So they're 8 affordable units with our sister organization, Southern Arizona Land Trust. Um, these are going to be held at 80% AMI, which means area median income. So for households, they can't go over that income cap to qualify to live there. Construction's going a lot faster than we anticipated. Their goal is to be done by March, and I believe they will be. Right now, you can see some of these area shots. We've got some of the concrete poured in. I know there's probably pouring some even today. I think they believe they're doing lots 1 and 2 this week. Framing's going up. It's really exciting to see that we're moving forward with some projects. And then finally, another thing that the residential department has tapped into over the last few years is bond compliance monitoring for different projects around the state of Arizona for the different IDAs. As Megan was, explaining how that bonds are really the way that you get projects built. So currently we're overseeing 23 affordable projects all across Arizona. We just signed 2 more projects agreements with 2 projects that are going to be developed in Glendale. And soon, actually, we're going to be monitoring our first project for the Phoenix IDA. So not only will it be Pima IDA and the Arizona IDA, we're now tapping into the Phoenix IDA as a resource. But it's really great. It gives us another way to support affordable housing. I mean, right now we're supporting over 3,000 low-income units across the state just by providing this monitoring service for the projects. And it also, creates revenue for us as a nonprofit so that we can continue to do, the work that we do in the community with our other programs. So if anyone has any questions, otherwise we'll pass it on.
I'm going to hand it back over to Megan real quick.
You know, I just realized that I didn't mention one core aspect of our work, which is, you know, I think Kristen shared with you already our values and behaviors documents, and that those living to our values is really important to us, and also our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion work, recognizing that housing has a challenging past. Typically, you know, there's a lot of individuals who have been left out of opportunity and who have been directly affected by policy work like redlining, exclusionary zoning, and other activities that have historically left out individuals of color from a number of opportunities. And so I believe those documents were shared with you, but I think it's important to mention and recognize some of that, both the commitment and some of the ways that we're trying to integrate that activity in our work. And I think Nick will probably speak, or potentially one of the other staff will speak a little bit about one of our current initiatives on empowering Black homeownership specifically. But we like to really focus that across our programs. And so I just want to put a shout out to recognizing that that's important for us. And I hope you dedicate some of your time and energy on thinking about ways that we can continuously improve that work. Thank you.
Thanks, Megan. I'm going to turn it over to Brian Perez, who's going to talk about our Financial Pathways program.
Hello, hello. I'm sorry, I'm just about to share my screen. So yeah, as Kristen mentioned, I'm Brian Perez. I'm the education program developer for Family Housing Resources. I kind of we work on financial education, homeowner education, like those are the big two topics. Right now we're also debating on working with Brian Jackson, our housing navigator, for maybe like a renter's right presentation or something of that sort. Also, but I work predominantly with the financial education. And that falls under our Financial Pathways program. So we have quite a bit that falls under it. The first one is the Financial Foundations program. This is a two-part program where individuals take an 8-course program covering the basics of finances. Some of the topics that we cover are like your values, money, and financial pitfalls, spending plans, credit scores and reports, saving and investing, taxes, insurance, and so on. They're all very important. They help you build that foundation to move up forward from. So it's a very nice set of courses to get you in that nice foundation for finances. Then it moves on to the second part, which is meeting with a skilled volunteer that is a financial professional, such as a certified financial planner, certified public accountant, insurance specialist, lender, realtor, and so on. It really comes down to what the participants are trying to get out of it. If they're trying to meet with someone to go over their insurances, and maybe an insurance specialist is best for them, someone to help them navigate their taxes, a tax advisor, or people who may just want to reduce their debt or improve their credit, maybe a financial planner could help with that as well. They are allowed to meet with their mentor for 3 one-hour sessions. It's a nice time since it is participant driven, meaning that if the participant wants to focus on improving their credit, then they're going to focus the sessions on improving their credit. It's not that the mentors come in with their agenda like, ha ha ha, I'm going to get them to get this and that. No, it's really it's really more for the participant. And we take pride that we come from a non-biased perspective. We're here to provide people with the education. What they do with that is their choice. Some demographics for the program for 2023 were 69% of the participants were Hispanic ethnicity, 40% were white, 20% were Black or African American, 16% had no response, but those that left this blank or chose that, they had chosen the Hispanic ethnicity. Then 15% were bi or multiracial, 3% not applicable, 2.5 Native American or American Indian, and 2.5 Asian. So we predominantly work with the Hispanic community, but we are moving forward with efforts to work more evenly or well distributed throughout different communities as well. Like Megan mentioned, there is an initiative right now going to increasing Black home ownership. With that, we hope to increase our number of participants that we're serving that do fall under this category as well. But we're also working on building a relationship with the O'odham Nation to help also increase our numbers for Native American and American Indians. And then we have our 2Gen Finance program. So our 2Gen Finance program was piloted in November of 2023, with the goal being to bring financial education to both parents and children in the same environment, with the hopes of increasing financial literacy for the household and provide a space for families to talk about finances together. The reason that last part is very important is no one really regardless of race, no one really talks about money. And it's a big thing that's really needed. If we're not talking about money, then our kids will learn about like, oh, it's important to save for retirement. Oh, it's important to save for college. Oh, it's important to save for X, Y, and Z. So being able to provide that space really provides a nice environment for not only children, but also parents who may not know, to gain that insight as to like, this is how how I could move my money. This is like the other side of the coin. Like I didn't know I could save. Like I thought I was supposed to get paid and go party, you know? So it's nice. And then the three topics that we cover, since it is both children and parents, we limited it to 3 courses. Because I mean, I'm 28 and I have sometimes trouble focusing. Imagine a kid. So I'm like, okay, no, let's keep it short. So it's 3 courses, but we cover spending plans, savings, and credit. And what really makes it nice is that we make it practical in the sense that we're not gonna come in and be like, all right, like let's use some very big terms, some very big abstract topics, because we're trying to make it practical in the sense where it's easy to apply. So the best example I have for this is actually the credit class. The way we teach credit is in forms of reputation. For a lot of children, credit is kind of still like an abstract concept. So the way we tie it is you have 3 friends, Bob, Todd, and Jerry. When you let Bob borrow your hat, he brings it back pristine, perfect. When you let Todd borrow it, there's always a stain, and you never hear back from Jerry. So then we ask is like, who would you let borrow your hat? And it's like, well, Bob. And then it's just like, oh, if Jerry wanted to borrow something, would you let him? They're like, no. It's like, what if he said he'd give you $5 to borrow it? Which is kind of bringing in the concept of interest. So we make it practical because we want to make it easy to understand and easy to apply in their day-to-day. Some quotes, I won't read them all, but just some from the program. These are from the parents. I am super grateful that I was able to take this course at a good time, since for now my credit is not very good, but I know how to start improving it and be able to organize myself for an economic survival plan in the future. One of this third one here, I used the budget to plan on my recent paycheck. For me, that was like a cherry on like the Sunday, because it's like, oh, not only did you learn it, you went out and you applied it. So that was cool. Some quotes from the children. The first one, this class was the best class I've ever taken. I've recommended this class to everyone. And then the fourth one made me laugh because this class deserves a recommendation, but we got that recommendation in point two. So it's like, yes. And this was the class setting. The way that it was, people were divided was nice because it was families. Except for this table here, it was one like mom and a child, but they knew each other, so it was cool. So it was nice little group settings to be able to cover these topics. Where we had also financial professionals come in. This is Rob Roman, financial advisor, come in and lead the classes as well to provide that professional insight and perspective. Oh yeah, and they had little certificates. It was really cute. Then we have financial coaching as well. This is an alternative to the Financial Foundations program, but it does not replace it. We can't cover the amount of content that we're covering in 8 courses in 2 or 3. It's not possible. So that one still has that richer education to it. But this is still being able to move participants for 2 to 3 sessions to kind of understand where they're at, like their goals, their obstacles, time frame. And the reason we ask for obstacles is to see if we can connect them with either social services or community programs to help offset costs. Like let's say, oh, I don't have enough to pay for my food. All right, let's see if you could apply for SNAP. Let's see if you could take advantage of community food banks, distribution sites, so on. And then after they meet with us for 2 to 3 times, if they want to move forward with meeting with a financial advisor, that's for more personal and professional guidance as well, because they bring in that extra layer of expertise. And workshop series. So we partner with organizations to bring either 1 or up to 3 workshops. There was an exception. We partnered with Compass and we brought 12 workshops partnering with other financial institutions throughout the time of July through September. I want to say July through September. But we partner with entities to bring these workshops depending on what their audience wants to see. So like, it's not that we come in, we're like, haha, we're gonna teach you guys this, unless they ask for it. But we normally want to be like, oh, what does your audience want to learn about? You know, like, is budgeting a big thing? Is credit a big thing? We want to be able to present what the audience wants to learn about, and that they find more relevant to them. But yeah, with that, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening, and I'll turn it over to the next person. Oh, unless anyone has questions. Cool. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Brian. And we're gonna turn it over to our other Brian, and he's gonna talk about our housing stability work.
Hello. I was feeling under the weather last week, so I did not have a nice slideshow like the previous presentations, unfortunately. But welcome, everybody. My name is Brian. I like to give the other Brian a hard time by saying I like to spell my name right with an I. So just so you know, that's how we differentiate each other. I'm the housing navigator. So what I typically do is I work with other partner resources, other entities to help kind of find resources that are going to be available to help the housing stability portion of our work. I speak to a lot of people who are requesting assistance, looking for assistance, or in need of assistance, whether that's rental assistance, utility assistance, mortgage assistance, affordable housing. You know, they may be already out on the street and looking for something, even if it's temporary, you know, residency in somewhere like a shelter, things of that nature. So I speak to a wide variety of clients just ultimately in need of stability. And that's my main goal, is to help provide that stability. I mean, I spoke to responded to 172 different requests just last month alone, just to kind of show the need of people out there who are looking for some sort of assistance. To help kind of support that stability aspect of it, I did complete a certificate program where I am a housing stability legal advocate. This is a court administrative program that was started with Innovation for Justice, where I can provide legal advice, not just legal information, but legal advice to individuals who are seeking that legal advice within a specific scope to evictions and rental landlord-tenant law. So being able to provide that resource to people who are low to moderate income, people who normally wouldn't be able to afford that legal advice, you know, be able to give them that peace of mind sometimes when it comes to certain situations when they're facing eviction. You know, being able to speak to specific situations when they come to me with questions goes a long way. I've already worked with a couple of clients on that, still getting that up and running. I am just a part-time employee, so I have to balance everything between the request for assistance. I do the housing stability work. I work with Brian Perez with the education side of things, supporting, as he mentioned, we're going to be looking to try to get a renters' rights presentation going, you know, because a lot of people don't understand their rights when it comes to the leasing portion of renting. So trying to make sure that they are fully aware of everything that they have the right to, as well as what the landlord is responsible for when you get into a lease agreement and contract with someone when you're renting. So we're going to be working with that. I also am a HUD certified counselor, which Nick will talk to you guys all about our HUD side of things and the down payment assistance and everything that we work on there. So I'll leave that to him. But I want to say that's a pretty brief overview. Did anyone have any questions or concerns? All right.
Right. Thank you, Brian. And I'm gonna turn it over to Nick. He is our housing counselor, and I want to thank him first because typically our program manager, Chrissy Seto, covers this. But she was under the weather, and so Nick agreed this morning to do this. So thank you, Nick. Take it away.
Sure. Thank you, Kristen. I am Nick Pereira. I am a housing counselor, program counselor within the home ownership division, where Chris Seto is the program manager, but like Kristen said, she was unable to make it. But within our home ownership division, right, a lot of our work is with housing counseling, down payment assistance application, home buyer education. So home buyer education, as a nonprofit entity here, we're here to answer any questions people may have about the home buying process. People don't really know where to start in a lot of cases. So they Google searches, they look at housing resources and they come to us, or if they begin the home buying process with the lender, often a lender will send them our way to um, get them started with the process of informing them of how to get started in home purchase. Like, who do you contact first? Who do you talk to? What programs are out there for availability, and so on. So we work closely with our local professionals, realtors, lenders, banks, um, with their clients, with their mutual clients, to push them towards home ownership. So that kind of goes with housing counseling, and housing counseling is right more than just like the advice. The housing counseling is more a formal part of that, um, where we will sit down one-on-one with the client and go over their budget, their household income and expenses, and from there we talk, right? What are they looking for? What are their expectations? Are they looking to purchase a home down the line in a year from now, in 6 months, in 3 months, 2 months, and then we work out a plan um, according to their situation, what we think would work best, and we confer with their lender or whoever they're working with at that time, and that often leads to down payment assistance. We primarily, with the down payment assistance programs, this helps with that initial money up front in home purchase. With there's various costs associated with home purchase that are due up front. I don't have to get into all of them right now, but that's what the down payment assistance is for. And there are programs out there, typically for low to moderate income households, to qualify. So with a lot of money potentially on the table, we get lots of people applying, inquiring, how do they get approved for these funds? What do they need to do? Right, people really want to purchase a home, so they are willing to, yeah, go through the process with us for home purchase. Um, Megan had mentioned the Black Homeownership Initiative, and that's something as an organization we've been committed to for the last, 6 months? I don't know how long it's been, maybe longer than that, but a real commitment to that, where we've been going out in the community and with like advocating and what's the word?
Outreach.
Outreach. Lots of outreach, trying to reach different communities, tabling events, um, lots of reaching out to like schools, resource centers, local leaders in the community, um, to improve Black homeownership within Pima County, Tucson, at least within our work. So um, we've been doing that for the past several months, and um, it's been a team effort, not just on home ownership side, but the Bryans as well, with their education and development and the rental assistance, housing navigation as well. And what else?
Can I jump in, Nick, real quick?
Of
Just
course.
for context, one of the reasons that we think that's really important is because, the rates for homeownership of white individuals, white families, is about 72%, I believe, 72 or 73% here in Arizona, versus Black or African American families is about 41% owning a home. So that is an enormous difference between the two that currently a lot of dynamics are making that gap to get into homeownership even larger and that wealth gap even larger. And so, this continues to be one of an important ways, homeownership continues to be an important way for families to build wealth and build generational wealth. And so that's why we're really committed to it and focused, because we see a huge discrepancy that we believe needs to be worked on and focused on. And so, yeah, thanks to the team who have all done a lot of these like weekend and evening outreach events to try and help connect with other individuals and support where we can. So thanks.
Definitely. I don't know. Anything else I missed?
I'm going to share just some stats from our 2023 annual report for housing counseling. We also serve a high percentage of Hispanic families. With our community and the makeup of our community, that makes a lot of sense. But we also serve a lot of women head of households. So that's something significant that we like to talk about. And we have had a commitment to minority home ownership throughout our history, but in the last year, we've really honed in on that and have focused on that and have created new relationships and new partnerships and are really trying to approach that in a different way, which is really a long-term approach because not everybody is ready for home ownership. So it's really kind of working your way through, your particular financial picture and being able to improve that and being able to become mortgage ready. Also, the market has been quite challenging. So, thinking about that and when is the right time to buy and so forth. But we truly believe that one of the best ways to build generational wealth is through home ownership. And so that is why we really focus on that. Last year was a really, really banner year with down payment assistance. I mean, like significant. So we were able to help 33 households make a purchase and help distribute about $1.6 million. Typically, that's about 500,000. So, there was a significant increase, and that just had to do with the availability of certain funds and some additional funds and people being able to layer and so forth. This year, the numbers won't look like that because of market factors, because, while we are getting people who are eligible for down payment assistance and approved for down payment assistance, they haven't been able to find anything that's appropriate for their income and that they want to buy. So, they're holding off, which makes sense. And then in total, so that includes, we serve 374 clients, which includes the down payment, the pre-purchase counseling, the home buyer education, and so forth. So that's a broad picture. So a very mighty but busy team. Thank you once again, Nick, for jumping in and helping to explain that program.
Can I jump in real quick,
Yes.
Kristen? I don't think Nick mentioned this, but I apologize if you did, Nick. But and you saw by Kristen's slide, people get different down payment assistance amounts based on like the purchase price of the home and the programs that they're in and how that works. But if you saw that the number that we help distribute with the number of homeowners that were created, that average is about 48,000, just over 48,000 in down payment assistance that each of these families received, which is huge because a lot of times people don't have the funds for that down payment assistance, and it helps make their mortgage affordable. So that is just a shout out of like how impressive that year was and the great work that Nick and the team were doing.
Absolutely. And there's some formal programs, which I had talked to some of you about before, that are down payment assistance, but then there's also some portfolio programs through different credit unions and banks and things like that. So we try to, find what works for a person and what situation they're in. Any questions about home ownership? Okay. So I'm going to wrap up with talking just a little bit about our social media and our marketing. So we do have a monthly e-newsletter that we send out, and we're always looking for new stories and new ideas. So if you have something in the work that you're doing with us that you think, hey, this would make a good story, then definitely share it with us, and we'll work on that together. And we'll also get you signed up for that so you can see it. You can always opt out if you would like. And then we typically for social media focus on Facebook and Instagram. So as I mentioned before, like us, love us, follow us, all of that good stuff, and also share your story ideas for that. We are also increasing our use, revisiting our use, I'm not sure which would be the right thing to say, of our YouTube channel. And so we're really excited about using that tool in different ways. So for example, Brian Perez has started using it for people who can't attend the orientation for a particular program, for a particular class, and, making it more flexible and usable for people. So we're excited about that. We actually have an intern, Alali, who was not able to make it today, who's working on some videos for us that we'll be using, posting onto YouTube. And then I will be sharing out these two onboardings, the one we had Friday and this one today. And I'm going to use the YouTube channel. I'm very excited. So we're really getting into it. So that's all.
We just don't have any staff members willing to dance or really committed to TikTok, so we have not had a presence there. But just planting the seed. If anyone feels snazzy and want to get us out there, let us know.
Megan, do you have any thoughts for a wrap up?
No, I don't think so. The only other quick thing on the newsletter is we also like to share out like other community support stuff too. So if you come across something that is maybe not directly related to us, but you think is a really important community, like community program or community benefit, I would not hesitate to also share that with us, because we do like to try and connect people with things that are relevant and helpful. So yeah, perfect. I think Kristen. Kristen, you go over the brand guideline stuff separately, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, for folks working.
Yeah, so I mean, what Megan is referring to, if you're doing any creative work or you think you might be using our logo for anything, like creating flyers or things like that, then I'll be sending the brand guide to you, and so that you have, like our colors and our fonts and logo and all of that kind of thing. If you should ever in the course of your work get inquiries about interviews or things like that, those typically go right to Megan, and she takes care of those, which she loves.
She does not love, but she will take care of them. I just want to reiterate, thank you all so much for being here and joining us. We really do appreciate having you on board, and both your work with us, but also your diversity of thought is really helpful, as we're a small organization. And so we really value that, having new folks come and share their ideas and perspectives, which is always really important for our work. So thanks for being here. We're excited to have you for the time we have you.
Yes. Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.